Hi everyone, this is Charity from Scrap Fair. I'm going to be making a Hanukkah wreath today. I'm starting by spraying a big piece of burlap with some Heidi Swapp Color Shine in the color um, Tinsel or Silver Lame. I think it's Tinsel. I'll put a product description in the bottom. Anyway, I just had this scrap of burlap laid to the side in a bucket in my scrap fabric bucket for scrapping, and so I just generously sprayed it all over. And then because I'm super impatient, I looked for my heat gun and found out it was not plugged in as soon as I pulled it up, and so then I plugged it in and I skipped over that. When it was dry, I ripped the burlap in half, which gave it kind of a knotted effect on one side. You'll see it when I turn it over. And then I got out some Beacon Adhesives Fabri-Tac. I was going to use that to glue it to my styrofoam leaf form, but let me tell you, do not use Fabri-Tac on styrofoam. I put just a little bit down and was holding it so that it would fix, and noticed after I tried again to get it to affix with some Fabri-Tac that this was apparently a really bad plan, and I noticed that the styrofoam was dissolving, and I haven't really worked with styrofoam just a whole lot, so what I can tell you is that Fabri-Tac will dissolve your styrofoam, and that if your batteries go dead in your cordless hot glue gun, you cannot in fact use it on your project. So my batteries did go dead there, and I do use rechargeable batteries in my glue gun, so I went and plugged in my rechargeable battery charger and then robbed batteries from remotes in the rest of the house. But I decided to get the burlap onto the form, that I would just use some really big 20 string that I have. I normally use this instead of baker's twine because it's just what I have. And I had a tapestry needle, so I don't just sew it, I also knot it a few times in the beginning and then at the end. But I basically sew the burlap. It's not any particular order, it's just so the front of my wreath is covered. The back could have been finished off really nicely. I could have cut out some circles of felt or possibly just some spare fabric or something and attached to it, but I'm kind of lazy and I didn't. But I wanted to show you also that I didn't do any kind of regular stitching to affix the burlap. I did get a knot there, and so when I undid the knot, I kind of finished it up. And then I have this, it's actually a velveteen jacket that I have used on a project in the past, and I love this blue, dark, turquoisey blue fabric. So I wanted an accent of this fabric on the wreath. And this is me using that same tapestry needle, and I'm just going to throw some of that really thick thread through a couple of places in that fabric, and then I'm going to tie it in an actual knot. And there's me using my mouth as an extra set of fingers to hold that big tapestry needle. I craft by the seat of my pants. I literally just, oh, what will this work or not? So now I've got my fabric covering, and I'm going to embellish, starting with a doily that I sprayed with layers of Jack Frost, Tattered Angels, Glimmer Mist, and Heidi Swapp Tinsel Color Shine Misting Spray. This is a package of flowers that a friend gave me. They're, I think, Recollections brand. I'm not sure where the package is right now. But it was yellow on the inside, and I just took a Copic marker number B04 and just loosely covered over the yellow that was on the flower because I didn't want any yellow. I have these plastic containers of goodies that a girlfriend mailed to me here, and so I just dumped out a whole bunch in the middle. I'm going to dump out some more flowers and stuff in a minute, just because I like to see things laid out so I can pick them up and quickly affix them. But there's some little jewelry pieces that came from a girlfriend of mine, and mirrors, and that one little really kind of star-shaped flower. That's my little button stash. And you can see I got some working batteries in my hot glue gun. So I'm now hot gluing found items to my wreath. It's the burlap is not silver silver. It kind of reads as more gray, but when the light hits it, it is shiny in places. And I have to say I'm really, really happy with it. This is just a part of a string of pearls that was in that little plastic container of goodies, which is actually, it's a drink. What is it? It's like, it's not Sunny D. I keep thinking Sunny D, but it's a drink you mix with a Crystal Light. It's a Crystal Light container. She sent me some Crystal Light containers with all kinds of goodies in them, and there's some little crystal rock-shaped things. Sorry about that. You're about to see me use. Oh, and that's a mirror. It's just a little tiny round mirror that was in there. And those are little, they're blue, crystally, rock-shaped things. I think you get them at craft stores and possibly at Walmart just to use as table decorations or vase filler. There's a whole bunch in this little Crystal Light container that she sent me that I've used. I have some lovely, the inside of the jacket is lined in that pink and navy blue print fabric, and I used that to cut out some leaves, and I cut some leaves out of some burlap, and these were some silver leaves that are actually on stems that were in those Crystal Light containers. And there's some little fuzzy puffball-y things. I went crazy using stuff I've had in my stash forever on this wreath, which really makes me excited because this whole year I've been trying to just use up stuff that I've been hoarding or didn't know what to do with. You saw me dump out a giant container of Prima flowers. That's one of the best things I ever bought, was a giant clear tube of Prima flowers. I got it at Hobby Lobby when I lived in Memphis, and I've used it for a couple of years now, and I love that the flowers are white and I can color them however I need them. I left them white on this project. And here I'm attaching a hanger, which I actually shortened when I actually put it on the door. There's going to be still pictures of the wreath on my blog, so there'll be a link down below in the description bar. I love those tonic scissors because I can cut fabric or burlap or the metal off of, flowers or shanks or whatever. When I got finished, it wasn't going to have a sentiment on it, and then I decided I have these index cards that I used on another project. I had a couple just laying on my table, so I took one and I sprayed it, just saturated it with the silver tinsel colored color shine mist, and then I dried it, and it gets a really bumpy texture when it's laid on very thick and you dry it with your heat gun. And then so I have pulled out some really old thickers from my stash, and that's a piece of parchmenty vellum that I'm going to spray with the Jack Frost Glimmer Mist, and I've used some American Crafts glitter tape to back my word Hanukkah because it was way too big to put on that little card. But I'm going to clip it on with these little mini baby, what are they called? Clothespins that came in the box of stuff from my friend Christine. I'm going to cover them in American Crafts glitter tape, which is one of my new favorite things in the whole world. Right now I'm going to have a devil of a time trying to peel the backer off. I finally got it. So the Hanukkah letters are thickers. They're Amy Tan thickers. I'm not sure what collection. They're a little older, but they did not stick to the glitter tape at all. I did use Tombow Mono multi-glue to stick those on, just so you know. Don't just try to stick your thickers to your glitter tape. It's not going to stick just by itself. So I found some little baby, I've got one little, not paper clip, but clothespin on there already. It's a bigger one that actually is holding the card on there. But I found some little baby, even tinier ones in my stash, and so I'm going to make sure that they are going to hold that on. And I thought I had enough of the blue from where I'd put it on that bigger clip to cover both of them, but I didn't, so I decided to cover one in the blue and one in the silver. And like I said, there are pictures on my blog of the stills of the wreath. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Have a great day. And craft on.